North Carolina DECA, it's Ellie Stocking, your Triad Region Vice President. And today in our Toybox Leadership Series, I'm going to be covering the iconic Slinky. So, how can we apply the Slinky to teamwork and leadership? So, there are many different characters when it comes to how a team is structured. There are more of our commanders, our visionaries, and our people that delegate tasks to others and lead. They're really those strong leaders that are on the front lines fighting those battles, and we are going to deem them the pullers, right? They're leading by vision. They're leading forward. They're driving. They're pushers, or the people that might be a little bit more standoffish, or more of they listen a lot more carefully, and they're more of those planners, or the people that don't really want to be on the front lines necessarily telling people what they expect of them, but really executing those tasks. Those are our pushers that follow behind our really frontline fighters, our pullers. They follow right behind them, right? So in what ways do we pull? We pull as leaders through communication, we pull through courage, we pull by example, and we pull through determination and passion. So when we pull through communication, we have to be passionate because, when we're those pullers, we're those visionaries, right? We're passionate about where we want to go. But when we do that, sometimes we can get a little bit lost. We are so driven to get to where we want to be that we forget that we have to be reasonable, and we have to consider what these pushers, where they're at and where they want to be as well, because it's not all about us as leaders. Our jobs as leaders is to make sure that we're setting our pushers up for success, right? And there's an outstanding quote that says, a leader's role is to raise people's aspirations. People's as in pushers. We're raising our pushers' aspirations for what they can become and to release their energies so they will try to get there. We're building up that energy as pullers, and we're releasing it at just the right time so our pushers meet us where we need to be at the time we need to be there. And now another one is we lead by courage, right? As leaders and as pullers, if we don't pull just enough, there's not going to be much momentum to get our pushers to where they want to be. If we don't pull that much, but if we pull just enough and we have that courage to take that stretch and take that risk, there's going to be a whole lot of momentum to get our pushers to meet us where we want them to be. Another one is we pull by example. Now, which direction do you as the puller or the leader want your team to go? Now, if you want to go in this direction, but you're pulling all the way over here, where are your pushers going to go? They're going to go in a place where they should not be. You need to lead by example. Lead them to where they need to go in the direction that you need to take. Because as a leader, why would you send your pushers or your teammates down a path that you would not travel yourself? Now, the last one is determination and passion. Now, there are going to be people when you're pulling. They're going to fight. They're going to fight you. And they're going to want to go all the way over here. But you need to be over here, right? There's going to be people who fight. And our first instinct as those commanders, we're those battle fighters, right? We're going to want to use that force. We're going to want to pull really, really hard to get them to go. But again, what's going to happen? Our Slinky's going to stretch. Our team's going to stretch too far, and what happens when we stretch too far? We're going to flatten out, and it's going to be really, really hard to get that Slinky looking like it did in the first place, and when it really, really worked and stretched and came back together effectively. So when you have that determination to get those pushers to stop fighting you and move with you and to where you need them to be, use your determination and use encouragement to get them to go where you as the leader believe that your teammates need to be when you're executing a task or a major project. Because when we use force, it's just going to flatten us out, and we're not going to be able to stretch anymore, and we're eventually going to break. So it's important for us as leaders to use that encouragement and be patient. Hold yourself where you need to be as long as you can. Wait it out, because your pushers aren't always going to be there to meet you where you need to be at that given time, but they will. Don't pull too hard and mess things up. Be patient, right? Pull and be patient. Now, I challenge you guys to find that balance, to not pull too far or pull too little, but to pull just enough so that your pushers and your teammates can eventually meet you where you need to be and spring into action. I challenge you guys to rise up and use that momentum and that effective puller leadership to spring into the future with your chapters and with your friends and with the other people in your life, because that is how a leader builds a solid network and foundation. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope that you have an outstanding year and you rise up.